So here's a cage tour of the Red Dwarf boys' home. They don't have a play area set up on top like the other cages. This is just storage up here. And there is never enough storage space. So, starting in the top corner we have their Sputnik. And they absolutely adore the Sputnik and they all pile in there all together, filling it up. And there's a wee perch there to help them get up onto it. And they have a tunnel running along the back wall, which helps them get over to their other bed. Now there's a couple of nibbling toys here, wooden toys, and the squishy bed, and a tile. That's where a water bottle sits when the door's closed, and this can stop a lot of the paper getting wet. The litter box is up the high there near their bed, which means if they wake up and need a pee, they jump down and they pee in there rather than on the shelf, because old boys are, well, not old boys, but boys tend to be really lazy when it comes to peeing. You'll have to excuse the camera moving around a bit. I've got Crichton climbing around down my top. Yeah, that's better. That's better, Crichton. You go have fun. So this wooden sort of swing is actually a trivet, which I just put up on some chain. And they've got a double hammock here. And over in the back corner is a nice big cube.
Watch the door. Watch the door.
Let's open the door. That way it can't close on anybody. And there's a nice hammock up high for them. And under that we've got a basket with Find a Card in it. And another chew toy that they well use. I quite often put malt paste onto these chew toys, just on the edges of them. It helps them, encourages them to chew on it. You boys, you're relentless. Wanting onto the desk. They know that when the gates and the cage doors open, they can get to it. You can get to the desk where the gnomes are stored. Hey, where the gnomes are. Because you love the gnome. Yes. Yes, I love the gnomes. I love the gnomes. He's a cute wee man, Mrs. Rimmer. So, yeah, there's a warm winter hammock there that they like. And under here at the back we've got this coconut shell toy. The coconut shell toy is actually really great for foraging. I put food and treats in there. There's a higher one there as well, there's 4. And they like that. That's the wee food bowl there. I don't tend to scatter feed because I don't want them really putting it in the litter tray. And scattering it on the newspaper makes it quite an abrasive surface, and that can cause bumblefoot, so I don't really scatter feed. The water bottle's leaking quite badly just now, so you can see this newspaper's being changed. Someone's having an argument.
It's Crichton and Holly.
Crichton and cat?
No,
no.
Cat and Holly.
Oh, Cat and Holly.
I knew it's Holly's.
Yeah, Holly's our hormonal boy that's due for a neuter next month. At the moment he's on Tardac, which is helping, but he's still a very bossy boots. Aren't you, boy? Still a bossy boots. You silly man. Testosterone's got a lot to answer for. Yes, it has. Oh, getting licks. Cute. And where's Crichton off to? You want cuddles from your daddy? Someone's trying to climb up my back. Right, so back to this. So, nice big hammock here that they can all fit on together. And over here, this is where they get down to the bottom. And there isn't actually room for them to climb up onto that bit and then come around unless they go into the litter tray. So we put these oh, I can't remember what you call them, these perches on there, and that helps them get over the hole. always want to get to the other side where they can't go. So down in the bottom here I have this stack, and this is where I put the fresh food, any vegetables, I put them up in there. And there's a nibbling block in that corner. I did have a comfy bed sitting up there, but they were just using it to pee on. So that came out. And this is a little box for them to hide in, a little hide. And a wooden garland along the back. And yet again another more tiles for them to lie on if they're too hot, or for the water bottles. We got this great big ladder. It was only £5 and that's from the range. It's a really good value. But I thought the holes were a little bit big in between each rung. So what I've done is I plaited together some old t-shirts, cut them together, plaited them together, and I've tied that round them so that they can't fall through there now. And they have one of these rope walkways, and well, these long branch perches are great. I actually don't think I showed you at the top, there's two joined together. These make great sturdy perches, walkways, whatever you want to call it. They're really good and sturdy, and they're great for putting outside of these beds so that they've got somewhere to jump onto when they come out. I've often found that, you know, when you hang up these beds, there's nowhere actually for them to jump out of safely, so we always put those wooden perches in. Again, I think they were from the range, and they're only £2–3 maybe. So there's another basket over here with some chew toys. And right down at the bottom we have 2 wine racks joined together, and they love them. And again, we had to put this litter tray in because all of a sudden they started pooping down there. Doogie made this ladder because when this was split into 2... Oh, what's going on over here?
Fine.
Someone got where they shouldn't be. There's another one. My fleece is under there. I keep my fleece under this big shield because I don't want them climbing under there and peeing on the fabric. But that strip of tape keeps coming apart, so they get under there. Because you're all naughty. So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, we've got the wine rack at the bottom. We've got another litter tray down there. It's quite dark now, can't really see. There's another litter tray in there, and there's a hammock above it. This is one of their main areas where, you know, if I'm putting fresh food in, I'll put it in this area. I don't put a lot there either, because this is where they come to get out. We have the pumpkin that's in there all year round. They like sleeping in there. And oh, the last thing is these exercise balls. They're actually terrible for rats to be in. We got them with the intention of, oh, they'll be able to run around the house and that. And then we found out just how dangerous they are. These little slats on them, their little feet, their toes can get stuck in them. It's a very disorientating experience for them being locked in there, because they can't pick up the smells and things that they would normally do with their whiskers and their nose. You know, they pee and they poo in there, and the ammonia is in there with them, and obviously it's not good for their lungs. But what they are good for is wiring into your cage corners and creating a bed. I usually have some newspaper sitting in there, which I don't have today. They must have taken it out and hidden it somewhere. They're quite good at doing that. This cage also has a metal pan base. This is just a big metal tray, so it was really difficult to actually find spaces to hang. So Doogie's actually drilled through in some spots that we've made hanging areas. so that we can attach these things. Couldn't have done it without that. Here. So, and underneath the cage we've got a play area set up. We've got a foraging tray. I don't know if you'd be able to pull that out for me, Dougie. The foraging tray, could you pull that out from underneath the bottom? So there we go. So that's, I can't remember where I got that. It's online, maybe Pet Planet or something like that. It's cardboard, but it looks like logs. And of course you just scatter bits and pieces of food in there, mealworms and things like that, and they have to dig for them. The whole thing's lined with a bath mat. And then I've got these packing peanuts. These are made from vegetable starch. They're completely safe for them, doesn't harm them at all. They have a lot of fun in there, and it's natural behaviour foraging and enrichment. I am very big on rat enrichment. You shouldn't just be stuck in a cage and left. Trying to mimic their natural behaviours is really important. Give them a full life, because let's face it, they don't get long lives. And I like to make them as full and good as possible. Sort of makes up for 30 years ago when the first ones were kept in a little tank and hardly got out. Only ever got to sit on the sofa. So this cage is the Liberta Explorer. It's the second edition, I think. The first cage, only one side opens. Can't close that, it's not in properly. So this is a clip that keeps this side closed. And the first edition cages, this was actually welded, it didn't close at all. I really like the closing on this. It's a sort of a latch system. This lever pulls down and closes, and it's really easy. They've never figured out how to open it. And it's just a really easy, you can do it with a single finger. The one on the SRS I find more tricky. I just have some hand weakness issues with fibromyalgia, and with this one you've got to squeeze these together both at the same time and pull open and release. And there's a little hole here that these little points go into, and that's what closes it. These quite often break. You hear a lot about these little things breaking, and then that's your cage knackered. I haven't actually heard anybody ever say that this is broken, but I'm sure it has. But ours is fine, and we got ours second hand. It is possible to take out this whole metal tray, and that opens up the space, and a lot of people like that. It just wouldn't work for us because we wouldn't have the area to put the big rat tray down, litter trays down. So I think that's everything that I wanted to tell you about the place. You probably noticed we've got some damp issues going on in here. The gutters have been leaking, and so we're left with some damp issues at the moment that we're in talks with the Housing Association about getting sorted out. Of course they blame my rats. The workman that came out said I had too many rats in here, and that's what was causing the damp. And I said, well, the rats have only been in here for 2 years, 3 years, but we've been getting damp for 15, 20. There's actually big cracks along the wall behind there, and the whole thing's just covered in mildew. I will get my rat room off my dreams at some point, but we're going to have to do a lot of work first. We're getting a new kitchen put in on the 25th of the month, and the heating system's getting done next week, so there's just too much going on to to do much about that just now. But the first thing we're going to do is use a steam mop. We use a steam mop on this side, and you can see it's so much better. And we're going to use a steam mop to get rid of this stuff for the meantime. And then hopefully we'll get this wallpaper stripped off again and get it treated. And get the room sorted, because it can't be good for their respiratory systems. There's Holly being bossy again. So, that was a long one. Thank you for watching. Hello. Yeah, you crying? You coming over, are you? Oh, changed his mind. Come in. You staying with your daddy? He's a daddy's boy. Oh, he's coming for a cuddle. Oh well, that's nice. And Holly's still chasing. Holly! He seems to have the biggest... Yeah. This pile is my to sew pile. This has been all cut out for me and all pinned together ready for me to sew, and I haven't been well enough to sew it. On this side we have the pile that Megan cut out for me the last time she was here, and this is to be pinned still and then be sewn. So God, I've got a lot to do, but I've just not been well enough to do it. It's low priority. Rats come first. So anyway, okay, I've rambled on long enough. Thank you for watching. Bye.